Hi kiddos, welcome to your week 2 fall garden lesson. Today I'm going to be talking to you about cucumbers, a little bit about legumes, and then a little bit about potatoes at the end. So to start off, let's talk about the cucumbers. So last week we learned that there are growing seasons. You have your warm, sometimes hot, warm growing season, and then you move into your cool growing season. And right now, since we're at the tail end of summer and we're moving into fall, we're moving into our cool growing season. But I'm going to go back and talk about some of our favorite warm season crops that a lot of people like to grow. So things like watermelon and pumpkin and cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers and eggplant. There are so many. But cucumbers, we want to remember, are actually a fruit because they do contain the seeds on the inside. So maybe you've heard the expression, cool as a cucumber. Well, where that expression comes from is because if you were to touch a cucumber, it does feel cool. And that's because cucumbers are 96% water. That means they're only 4% fruit. But that makes cucumbers super cool and incredibly hydrating. And I'll tell you more about their nutrition in just a second. But first of all, let's talk about how cucumbers, there are so many different varieties of cucumbers, and I really encourage you to try different varieties. They tend to fall into two categories though. There's slicing, those are the ones that are really delicious when they're eaten fresh, and then there's pickling, and those are the ones that are a little bit more mild tasting, they're firm, and they're great for making pickles. A little bit about cucumber history. So cucumbers originated or began in India about 3,000 years ago. And then they were brought to Greece and Rome, and the conquering Romans introduced them to all of Europe. And then it wasn't until the 16th century that cucumbers were brought to North America. A little bit more about the nutrition. They're a great source of vitamin A, so super good for your eyes. They have vitamin C, which is really important this flu season, calcium for strong bones, potassium for strong muscles, and as I mentioned before, because they are filled with so much water, they're super hydrating, which helps keep everything in your body running smoothly. A little bit about pickles, because cucumbers are known for being pickled. Pickling is a process of soaking foods in solution so that you can preserve them over a long period of time. This has been something that's been done for thousands of years. It's not just cucumbers, but it is a way where during those warm season fruits and vegetables, people could still enjoy the flavor and the nutrition during those winter months. And there are different ways that you can pickle. One way is to preserve them in vinegar. Sometimes it's in a salt solution. And people not only pickle fruits and vegetables to preserve them, but also because they enjoy the flavor. And you'll find pickled fruits and vegetables in cultures all over the world. So let's go ahead and move on to legumes. And maybe that's a term that you've heard before, but what a legume is they're plants that produce pods along a seam with a row of seeds inside. So what I'm talking about is I'm talking about like peas, I'm talking about beans, peanuts fall in this category, lentils fall in this category. And this is the time of year. Beans we generally plant in the summer months or in the warm season months. And peas, if you think of snow peas, that's what we're planting during our cool season months. So peas are a great thing to add in your garden. They also make a great companion plant because they bring nitrogen from the atmosphere and actually help fix it into the soil, which helps your surrounding plants. So if you're looking for something fun to plant right now, peas are a great option. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is if you have, by any chance, if you're a family that likes to eat potatoes and you have some organic, non-GMO potatoes, we like to use red potatoes, go ahead and set those aside. I like to store ours in a brown paper bag or just leave them somewhere on your counter. And eventually those potatoes are going to grow eyes. And what you can do is you can use those old potatoes, you can plant them and use them as seed potatoes to grow new potatoes. So if you do have any of those on hand, set those aside. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to tell you how you can grow new potatoes from old potatoes. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week. Have a good day.